الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله بنعمة الإسلام وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have our presentation this morning. I'm here representing Dr. Abdulhamid Gambo, who is the University Librarian. We actually wanted to be here, but there are other university engagements which he could not actually be absent from. So generally, when library is one of the systems we have in Ahmadu Bello University's area and all other universities that we have globally. And the system is specifically developed to assist you, the students, learning and conducting researches. In Ahmadu Bello University's area, we have the central library called KIL, Kashim Ibrahim Library. It stands as the central library for the university. And the library has the capacity to accommodate 2,500 students at a time. And that is the second largest library north of the Sahara or in Africa at large, after the Library of Alexander in Egypt. So, and the library at the same time have other sub-units. For instance, you know that we have about 2 to 3 faculties in Faculty of Administration, that's in Kogi, in Congo. So another satellite library is set out there for the students, and the library is called President Kennedy's Library. It is a subsection or sub-unit of Kashim Ibrahim Library that is in Congo. Yeah. And at faculty level, we also have what we refer to as faculty libraries, and at departmental level, we have departmental libraries. Why do we have these sub-libraries? The reason for having these sub-libraries is to make sure that we move our services close to you, the students in your department, meaning that there are some researches you want to conduct, assignments or reading, which you don't necessarily need to come forward to the main library. You can do it at your own departmental level. So looking at it, my question here is that, or what I'm here to present here, what do you expect and why should a student go to the library? What do you expect? What kind of services do we render in the library? So the first point of contact when you approach a library is what we call the customer service unit. In the customer service unit, every student, for instance, in Ahmadu Bello University's area, we have not less than 40,000 undergraduate students. All these students are expected to approach the customer service unit and register with that particular unit, because even if you don't register at the point of your graduation, you will be mandated to go and make clearance in the library. And if you are not cleared by the library, the Senate will not issue your results. So registration is mandatory for you as students. So you approach the library and ask for the customer service unit. That is where you are registered, and the registration is captured electronically. Even though before it is done manually, or through the kind of radical changes we have using ICTs. So the ICTs have also taken over our operations. So such registrations are done electronically. And in that same unit, you are entitled to borrow up to between 3 to 7 books in the library. And you have a period to use those books for a period of 2 weeks, after which you are expected to return the books to the library. If you are not done, then you will register for extension, and the library will also give you an extension of another 2 weeks. Then apart from that, there is another unit that is developed specifically for individuals of interest or people like you, undergraduate students, and that unit is what we call the reference unit. What do they do in the reference unit? Sometimes we are given assignments by our lecturers in the class, and once you are given assignment, students find it difficult sometimes to contextualize specifically what that assignment means, or what information resources, books, journal, newspapers will be accessed to enable them to do that assignment that is easily. So at that point, you are expected to move straight to the reference unit, meet the librarians, present them with the assignment, and they engage you in a kind of dialogue and a little bit interview. From there, the librarian's responsibility is to help you with the resources, that is encyclopedias, is also dictionaries, and other related information resources that will make you to enable you to do that assignment easily, effectively, and efficiently. So that is for that. Then secondly, again, in that particular unit, you also give a kind of library education, because sometimes we have books on the shelf and you see an individual coming to the library, you will go straight to the shelf, searching for the books, you won't find any book there, because Cash in the Bright Library has over 1 million books. So where are you coming from? And which of the 1 million books are you in need of? But by the time you go to the reference division, it will take you to the library's catalog and educate you on how to search for the books in the catalog, then direct you on how to retrieve the book from the shelves. So it's the unit that also does that. Then again, we are in the 21st century, and we must know that virtually more than 80% of our activities today have been overtaken by ICTs. It's also whether we join or not, it is a known reality. So in the library, we have what we call the ICT unit. One of the units dedicated for undergraduate students is the MTN Net Library. For those that have visited the library before, you know immediately after the microbiology department, the building there, it's what we call the MTN Night Library. Here you are also expected to move to that unit as a newly admitted student with your admission letter. And by the time you go with your admission letter, you are registered. Immediately, if you are registered, we have over about 200 computers in that unit. And you are entitled to 2 hours internet usage in that particular library as an undergraduate student every day. Meaning that in the week, you have 14 hours. And in a month, you have about 60 hours. So for your assignments, some of you don't have laptops. Some of you don't have the gadgets to access the internet. You can go to the MTN Net Library, you'll be provided with a computer, and by the time you are done with your assignment, you can give your email address. Send the assignment to your email address, go out and print it, and submit your assignment. Then after that, there is also what we call the internet room, where we give what we call information literacy training. Information literacy at that particular name, you will ask yourself, who is an information literate person? Today, most students always have a kind of problem whenever they are given assignments. Immediately when your lecturers give you assignment, students quickly run into Google. A serious student will not visit Google for his assignments in a university like Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. Why I say in a university like Ahmadu Bello University Zaria? Because I know there are certain library services we have here which you cannot find in other universities. When you go into Google is just like what it has been. Any individual can publish whatever he or she likes and drop there. And by the time you're searching the Google for your assignment, then definitely you are searching for goods in the dustbin. But the library is quite aware of that, and they subscribe to what we call electronic databases. For example, even if you go to universities that are highly mentioned today in the world, like Harvard University, Oxford University, MIT, and whatever you can mention, the database they use for their researches are the same databases that are subscribed by Librarian Library, which is the Elsevier. We have all the Elsevier journals here. The university have subscribed to that. And what does it mean for you to do your assignments or to conduct your assignment using those databases? Those data, any resource, any book, any thesis, any title you find in those databases, that book or title must have gone under the scrutiny of professors, doctors, and potentials in that area where the book is written before it is added to the database. Can you see the difference between the databases and Google? Nobody scrutinizes Google. Whatever I type today and throw into Google, it is there. But in database, you cannot find anything like that. All the books have gone under scrutiny. So why do we give that information literacy training? An information literate person is an individual that is able to locate the right information source in the internet. It's an individual that is able to access the right information needed or resources in the internet. It's an individual that is able to differentiate between the right information to the wrong one that is in the internet. Is that so? So you ask yourself, are you an information literate person? And if you don't have that information literacy skill, believe me, all the assignments you're going to be given from the faculty, from your department, from individual courses, you only succeed in going to Google, doing the assignment. That is why sometimes you see students approaching you that you gave us an assignment. When we log on to Google, we got it from the internet, and yet you are scoring us 2/20 or 1/20. Maybe that one is only given to you because the material, sometimes you give 400 level student or 200 level student will be given assignments. You run into Google, pick something from Wikipedia. If you check thoroughly, maybe that article is using for the assignment is written by a primary 2 student somewhere. So you are using it to write an assignment for kind of 4 degree courses. These are the kind of dramas you conduct sometimes in the name of what? Writing good assignments. Is that so? So that is it. When we are to discuss the library services we have, it is a whole lecture on its own. But for a little and for the brief 10 minutes I'm giving, so this is the little I have this afternoon. Assalamu alaikum.